whenever I fought with my online boyfriend. My CEO mysteriously increased my working hours. For 2 years, my online boyfriend refused to tell me his real name. "I want you to love me for me," he always said. We met through a book forum. He was funny, patient, always available no matter what time I texted. He called himself Ethan. I worked as an executive assistant for Blackstone Global, one of the largest companies in the country. Our CEO was a mystery. No employee had ever seen him in person. He managed everything from overseas through video conferences and a small executive team. The strange part, whenever Ethan and I argued, the next morning my office life became unbearable. If I ignored his messages, the CEO suddenly announced mandatory overtime. If I hung up during an argument, weekend work became compulsory. If I blocked him for a day, every department somehow ended up working until midnight. At first, I thought it was a coincidence. Then it happened again and again. One night I exploded. "Every time we fight, my CEO makes my life miserable." Ethan replied with a laughing emoji. "Maybe your CEO likes you." I rolled my eyes. "I wish he'd just leave me alone." He simply typed, "Maybe he will." The next morning, the overtime order was canceled. That should have frightened me. Instead, I ignored it. Months later, I received shocking news. The mysterious CEO was finally returning to headquarters after 5 years overseas. The entire company prepared for his arrival. I wasn't excited. I just hoped he wouldn't schedule another 14-hour workday. The night before his arrival, my best friend Emma visited my apartment. She admired my favorite fountain pen. It was a beautiful silver pen Ethan had mailed me on our first anniversary. He'd engraved 3 tiny words on it. "Always yours, E. I have an interview tomorrow," Emma said. "Can I borrow it for good luck?" "Of course." The next morning, everything went wrong. My alarm didn't ring. I spilled coffee on my blouse. By the time I reached the office, the CEO had already begun greeting employees. Emma, meanwhile, was interviewing in the executive lobby while carrying my pen. The CEO walked past. His eyes immediately locked onto the pen. He stopped. His face completely changed. He stared at the engraving, then at Emma. Without another word, he dismissed everyone else. The entire executive floor watched in confusion as the billionaire CEO personally escorted Emma into his private office. Rumors spread like wildfire. The CEO has a secret girlfriend. They've known each other for years. He's going to announce their engagement. Meanwhile, I had no idea any of this was happening. 3 hours later, Emma burst into my office. "You need to come upstairs." "What happened?" "I think your CEO thinks I'm you." My heart stopped. We rushed upstairs. The CEO was standing beside the window holding a small velvet ring box. The moment he saw me, he froze. His eyes shifted to Emma, then to the pen. Finally, he laughed at himself. "So, I've just embarrassed myself in front of my entire executive team." Emma handed him the pen. "It isn't mine. It belongs to her." His eyes met mine. For the first time, I recognized the smile. The same smile I'd seen in hundreds of video calls where Ethan always kept the camera pointed at the ceiling. "You, Ethan," he nodded. "My real name is Ethan Alexander, founder and CEO of Blackstone Global." I couldn't believe it. You're my boss, and my boyfriend." I crossed my arms. "So every time we argued," he looked guilty, "I increased everyone's work hours." "What? I never meant to punish you. I was frustrated. I convinced myself everyone needed to work harder. You punished 3,000 employees because we had an argument." The board members sitting around the conference table suddenly became very interested in their laptops. Nobody wanted to make eye contact. I turned toward the door. "We're done." For the first time in 2 years, Ethan panicked. He followed me all the way to the lobby. "I'm sorry." "No, you're sorry because you got caught." He didn't deny it. That afternoon, every employee received an email, effective immediately. All mandatory overtime was canceled. Every employee would receive 2 extra paid leave days. Flexible working hours would begin next month. The email ended with one unusual sentence. "This decision comes after I realized leadership should never be influenced by personal emotions. I sincerely apologize." Nobody understood why. I did. For weeks, I ignored Ethan's messages. No overtime returned. No strange company policies. Instead, flowers arrived. Handwritten letters, apologies. One evening, he waited outside my apartment. No security, no luxury cars. Just Ethan, "I've spent my whole life controlling companies. I forgot people aren't companies. You can't manage love. You earn it." For the first time, I believed him. A year later, we married quietly. At the reception, Emma held up the silver pen and laughed. "I almost married the richest man in the country because I borrowed a pen." Everyone laughed, including Ethan. He leaned over and whispered, "Best mistake of my life." Sometimes, the smallest object can create the biggest misunderstanding. But only honesty can fix it. If you discovered your online partner had secretly been your CEO all along, would you forgive them? Or walk away forever?